5 1 versus 1 drills for any team. I use 1-4-4-2 as an example to explain the different drills. But as we know, there are 1 million different variations you can do with one-on-one. These are examples of way of thinking, and as always, the point is to design drills for your players and your team. First drill, center back one-on-one. Here I use goalkeeper to start the play, but depending on your situation, it can be a coach or another player. So what is the typical situation for a center back? Often you have a striker who is pressing from middle and you need to either dribble or pass. So we create a drill that we can have 2 center backs here, right, left, coach or goalkeeper or another player to start the play. Then let's say we mimic a pass to one of the strikers. So we put a mini goal here and we remove these midfield players, and you can have multiple players so everyone gets reps and enough rest. So simple drill, coach or goalkeeper or player plays the ball to either center back, left or right, and the striker tries to press and prevent the center back from passing to one of the mini goals. So let's say the coach passes to number 3, number 9 is going for a press. Like in a game, if you pass further away, it's more difficult to hit the target, but good players can do that. And if you dribble, you get closer and it's easier to pass, but the risk is that the striker will eventually intercept you or add so much pressure it's difficult to pass. And we repeat this both sides, and you can have multiple center backs or defenders here and multiple attackers, so you can mix which side you play. Next drill, fullback 1v1. Let's remove this setup. So we create a situation around the fullback. All right. So what we want as a fullback, you usually get the ball from the middle and you either again pass or dribble, but we do it position specific and area specific. So we have our fullbacks, we can have maybe a center back playing the ball, and it's not usually the striker, it's more often a winger who is going to press. So something like this. There's a center back with the ball and he plays the fullback and the winger is pressing. So usually there's 2 options. Of course you can play back, but we don't want that. We want to progress the ball. So what tends to happen is that you can either play to number 7, so we put a small goal here, or you can either dribble or pass middle. So let's say we put 2 cones. If the winger is closing the sideline, the fullback can dribble middle, maybe pass to a striker or midfielder, however you want to build the drill. But the main idea is that depending on the press, if the press is coming from middle, maybe then like center back, if you pass further away, it's more difficult. If you dribble, it's more easy to pass, but there's a risk that the opponent gets the ball. Or if the press comes from wide, again, you can pass. It's longer pass, more difficult, or just dribble to avoid the press and pass from there. And you can do both sides, right side, left side. And as any drill, you can do it specifically for the player that is playing the position, or you can do a more general exercise that you rotate multiple players, and especially for younger age groups, it's smart to teach the fundamentals how the game works. Next drill, center mid 1 versus 1. Let's remove our cones and small goals here, this, and create 1 versus 1, the midfield. So blue players, blue team, 4-4-2, this, and we have the red team like here. So we are talking these 2 players, 6 and 8, are central midfielders. What they typically do, they get the ball somewhere around here and they try to play forward. That's the key idea. Here's a drill you can use. It's usually 1-on-1 in the midfield, 2 against 2 or 3 against 3, but the point is that there's direct opponent marking midfielder every time. So 1 against 1, and what we want to progress forward, so maybe to our wingers or our strikers. So let's put mini goals here for mini goals. Mini goals are great, and we have 2 1 against 1s, right side, left side. again, coach or center back can play the ball. But the idea, you can create like a zone if you want. But the point is that the midfielder is not allowed to play back. Of course, if you are just starting out, you can make it more easy that they can sometimes play back, but that's not really the point, because the point is that they try to win their one-on-one and play forward. So number 6 needs to create space, and he receives the ball. Bam, he got pressure from behind, and he tries to make half turn either way and play the ball, one of the mini goals. You can use all 4 mini goals or 2 or 3, as long as they present the forward options for the pass. So the key point here is that the midfielder must first create some space, then receive in a way that he is at least half turned, so he got free foot to play forward. No need to win the one-on-one, so no need to turn and dribble. That's rarely what happens in these kind of situations in a game. Of course, if you can do that, fine, but the point is to receive in a way that you can pass forward. Next drill, winger 1v1. Again, let's remove this setup and we'll create the winger 1-on-1 up near the opposing penalty box. And as you already can imagine, you can create these kind of one-on-ones anywhere in the pitch. These are just 5 examples, 1 for each position. So 1 against 1 for wingers. We take all the winger and fullbacks. So, well, coach or midfielders to pass the ball. Sorry, number 6 here. So, you can have goalkeeper. Okay, it's 1 against 2, but you get the point. 1 against 1 and goalkeeper. It's more fun with the keeper. So, what is a core business for a winger? Going 1 against 1 and either dribble and shift cross or dribble, shift and shoot. Again, pass the winger, he is going 1 against 1 versus the fullback, and 2 options: wide cross, you can have like a zone where you cross, or a striker if you want to include more players to make it more fun. But the point is that you coach this 1 against 1. Or going 1 against 1, shifting inside and shooting top corner. If you want to make it slightly easier, you can create a zone for the defender. So if the winger gets out of the zone, he cannot follow. That's fine for the first time you're practicing. But as players get more advanced, it's 1 against 1, big area. You can play all the way to cross or finish. 5th drill, striker 1v1. Last time, let's remove this setup and create 1v1 for our striker. And again, we have a goalkeeper, so it's technically 1 against 2, but you get the point. So our strikers, where are the strikers? Here, 9 and 10. If you are playing with 1 striker in the middle, then do the drill in the middle. Or if you have 2 strikers like this, then go both sides. But either way, it's good to practice both versions. And you can have midfielders here and center backs, trying to prevent our strikers from scoring, which is not nice. Similar to midfield 1, but now for the strikers to try to turn and score. So around the penalty box, 1 against 1, again small movements, trying to create some space for himself. Midfielder plays the ball and striker tries to maybe small feint and shoot, get the foot open and get the shot off. The main difference for the midfield one is that in the midfield you can often take bigger touches away from your opponent, and the midfield and the opponent is not marking that closely near the penalty box. The center back is often really close. There's not much room. Take the touch. It's more like wrestling with the center back and trying to roll or just get small touch and quick shot. If you like drills like this and want to build brave, fast and competitive players, check the link in the description and join the football coaching hub. Watch this video next because YouTube thinks you like it, and we will see you on the next one.